Next up comes from Diego L. Rey, who says, "Hi, DF, exclamation point. How much are the consoles affecting RT adaptation overall? There are showcase games where Nvidia sponsors them and they get the suite on PC, but there are limited titles, and most, if not all of them, are games I personally don't care for. What does it take what will it take for more mainstream games like racers with licensed cars and GTA 6 to get full ray tracing features? Does it take the console being capable of 30 series level RT? And how do they get there with AMD? It takes a 7900 XTX to do 3080, 3090 levels of RT. Last I looked into it. It doesn't seem like the PS5 Professional is going to be that level unless I'm missing something. How do we get RT/PT into actually fun games?" Geez, I don't know. That's a little bit harsh on the game
loaded
side. But
yeah.
This is for you, Alex. Enjoy.
Wow. How much are consoles affecting the RT adaptation overall? I would say generally positively, just because if they didn't have it at all, hardware level support, then we wouldn't have gotten almost anything. We wouldn't have gotten, Spider-Man wouldn't have those reflections that I think sold a lot of people on the power of the PlayStation 5, arguably more than Ratchet and Clank did, because Spider-Man's like a well-known IP and it's like, holy crap, And I think that was a big deal. I think it's generally positive. The only issue is obviously that the limited amount of power that can be done to leverage a lot of these effects at resolutions that people find palatable on a 4K display. And I think that's where it falls apart. And I think that is the one area where we're just going to have to just wait it out this generation until the next one to get it in a lot of titles that aren't UE5 based ones. And that's mainly it. I think we just got to wait a bit for the gen to start winding down, and then we'll start seeing things that we see on PC next generation coming to consoles at that point in time, because there's been a lot of hardware and API iteration till then. In the meantime, though, you've got UE5 titles, which in their software and our hardware mode are using it for reflections and for diffuse global illumination as well, too. So I think that's a good middle ground in the meantime. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think it's a bit of a glass half full, glass half empty situation, like you said, Alex, where if the consoles didn't have RT acceleration at all, you can bet that we would not be seeing too much excitement on PC, or at least not nearly as much. But, conversely, if they had better RT, then obviously we'd see more. If the consoles did have fast RT, I can imagine things like hardware lumen would probably be the default in UE5 titles.
Right.
And that obviously has implications for the PC, because we tend not to see developers shipping both modes in the same title. But, you'd still have to contend with PCs that are not capable of hardware RT. And those comprise a substantial portion of the PC market. You have a lot of people on older GPUs, lower power GPUs, even GPUs like the GTX 1650 are still being sold today. Those are not ray tracing capable GPUs. So I think it's kind of a mix of factors, and you can't discount the fact that on PCs, those older and less powerful hardware configurations are also holding you back, in addition to, what you may or may not be too happy about in a compromised console by necessity, right?
Yeah, right. And just as a quite little clarification here, the 7900 XTX can only do 3080 or 3090 levels of RT in games that use traditional ray tracing. As soon as you go to path tracing, that GPU actually gets like a lower performance than those. Right. So AMD, in regards to what they're doing, they've been really just dramatically increasing the size of the GPU, which, like, if you look at the rasterization performance, the 7900 XTX is going to cream a 3080, but it has to drop down a gen lower to get RT performance, and then a gen lower than that to get PT performance. And so I think AMD, we still don't know what PS5 Pro is doing for its RT. I really, really am curious. But I think they need to just generally change their entire architecture mindset and actually go for full acceleration like Intel are doing, and NVIDIA too.
I was always kind of bummed out by AMD's approach to ray tracing, because I feel like it actually has fueled a negative sentiment towards RT as people associate it with the one brand versus the other. And I think fans of AMD are very quick to just say, RT's a waste of resources, it's bad because the hardware isn't well supported in ray tracing applications, when in reality it should be. People complain about it, but it really is like that's where we need to go with real-time graphics, and it will be good eventually for everyone. It's good for developers. It's certainly easier to build in light scenes when you can rely on ray tracing versus all the hacky rasterization features, which, hey, they can do a great job, but they're a pain to deal with.
Yeah.
And I hope we get there at some point. I think we will. It's just a matter of time, but we'll see.